Good afternoon, Cyclones fans. Hey, we are back online, back at it here in Springfield. This will be the final matchup of the day for both your Cornerstone Cyclones, and really this is going to wrap up the tournament. So, can give you guys some updates here on what we're seeing in terms of the scores and the outcomes. This is, in effect, going to be our third place game. The game before ours was Calvary versus Mount Olive. Those two teams had entered that game both 2-0. Calvary took that last game in 3 sets. So Calvary was 3-0 on the day. They will be the champions of the tournament this year. Mount Olive fell to Calvary, which may put them at 2-1 for the day. And the teams you see kind of behind this, let me get that out of the way for you. The teams on the court are your Cornerstone Cyclones and Illini Central. And Illini Central and the Cornerstone Cyclones both 0-2 so far today. Both looking for that first win. One of them will get it today. And will be interesting to see who that is. But it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround before they get started here. So I wanted to share just a few things. Yeah, Calvary won against Illini Central at 9 o'clock. Mount Olive beat us at 10:15. Calvary beat us at 11:15. Mount Olive beat Illini Central at 12:15. And then just now, like I mentioned, Calvary taking Mount Olive for the championship. So both teams on the court are 0-2 today, looking for the right to call themselves the third place finishers. So welcome back, everybody. Eric Hughes broadcasting here from Calvary Academy here in Springfield. Boy, there's a lot going on today in my brain. Coming to you solo without Mr. Dan Kinzinger, who I believe, if he's like most of the farmers I know, he is out there working hard in the field. If he's like me, he's on the couch taking a nap probably. But I'm guessing it's the former, not the latter. But continue to wish Dan well as he's out there getting his work done, and all the folks bringing in the harvest. I know it's a busy time of the year for folks as well. So welcome. Illini Central. We do have a little bit of information on Illini Central that we can share for you. So there are twins with the last name Hughes. No relation, I'm sure. And they both contribute quite a bit to this Illini Central volleyball team. So Ella Hughes is a freshman. The only freshman on their team, but she's actually leading the team. If I'm looking at my data right here, she's actually leading the team with 65 kills. And the other major players are Bailey, Katie Bailey, and Hillary Thomas for Illini Central. A couple things I'd noticed from their data: serve receives. They're kind of vulnerable on their serve receives. So 123 reception errors in 31 sets. So what that means, folks, is their service errors are coming up maybe 4 to 5 per set. So they need to kind of keep those in check if they're going to be successful against Cornerstone. And again, 54% of all the kills come from just two players, Hughes and Bailey. And so mentioned the service errors already. 275 service errors versus only 43 aces for Illini Central. So I think keys to victory, if you're Illini Central, you're going to look for Thomas and Harris, the other player on their team. A couple of their big passers, Reagan Harris, who's a senior. Going to look for those folks to lead the charge in terms of their passing game. For Cornerstone, I would say those that are tuning in and have been with us on these broadcasts before, you probably already know what we need. We need to keep our serve, and we need to work together as a team to just get in system and play our game. And so that's going to be the biggest thing to watch here coming out of the gate early. Can Cornerstone get into system? Can they actually play their game? The first two games of this tournament so far, we are 0-2, but we've played good volleyball. We've played better than we have in the previous few matches, if I could be so bold. We've been in system more often. We're relying, as we should, on our big hitters. And there's several of those, right? You've got Leah Huffman. You've got Lizzie Rogers. You have Allie Kinzinger. You have, oh gosh, all kinds of folks. I can keep saying it if I want to, but Lainey Smith in the middle. Hughes has her moments. And what we're going to need to do is get those gals the ball and get into system. That first set especially of the previous game, Cornerstone did just a really, really great job of getting into system and getting the ball set to their setters, getting good sets to their hitters. And so what we need to make sure we're doing this game is exactly that. So, again, we're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes with the final game of the day for the Cyclones against Illini Central. Appreciate everybody joining this afternoon. I have a ball. I have to get back to somebody. It has come my way. I'm going to see if I can flag somebody down to take it because I don't want to just throw it. Maybe I will. All right, there we go. So see, I got to be part of it. Now I don't know if that was the biscuits and gravy ball for those who were on earlier. Had a little bit of a mishap. one of the Cavalry players hit one real hard over the net. Ended up in a garbage can. Long story. I'm over here. Look, if you guys can see Leah across the court. She's hitting right at me. I don't know. I'm not sure if she's got it out for me, but she's literally just unloading right in my general vicinity. And so, like to see it though. She's getting the ball. She's getting good hits on the ball in the warm-ups. So that bodes well for us. And as one of her soccer coaches, maybe she just is like, if I just think about Coach Eric's face and hit it hard enough, who knows? Who can say such things? Well, I had a chance to talk with several of the parents. They've got quite an operation here. If you have not been part of Cornerstone Volleyball, if you're just listening in, maybe you got a granddaughter, something like that. I will tell you, the parents know how to do this. When we go on the road for these tournaments, these volleyball parents, they know how to get things together. Today they had like a baked potato bar. They had all kinds of food and snacks, and I'm always very impressed at how the Cornerstone parents care for these girls and take seriously, that these games are full days for them. Want to make sure that they get fed, nourished, all that good stuff. And so looks like we're getting ready to line up, exchange COVID as it were. And then we will be getting started here in just a quick moment. Coach Morin still just talking through a couple things with the girls. And then we will be set to go. Once again, for those that are just jumping on, just share the outcomes of their other games today. Looks like Calvary Saints will come away with the championship in this tournament. They are 3-0 today, having bested Mount Olive in 3 sets just minutes ago. So those two teams are first and second place, respectively, with a 3-0 and a 2-1 record for Mount Olive. These two teams on the court, they are both looking for their first victory today. This is both of their third games, and still not a win for either team, Cornerstone or Illini Central. So they're looking to do that. And here we go. They're running across the court and saying, "Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Like your jersey. Really like the bow in your hair." I don't know what they talk about. I'm not sure what they say when they run. If it's any indication of how boys sports go, they're probably not complimenting each other. Maybe giving a little bit of a stink eye. A little bit of a, I don't know if I like you right now, kind of a look. Both teams are huddling up, getting ready to start. Cornerstone is actually on the far side this game, so again, appreciate everybody's flexibility in terms of the placement. Hopefully you can still see well enough to see the game. Got the scoreboard up at the top, or kind of the middle of the screen for you. All right, cut that music all the way down. I don't have a co-pilot with me, so you guys are just kind of stuck with me today, this afternoon. So thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for coming in and listening to the game and watching these girls play. They've worked really, really hard this season. and really excited to see if they can pull a win out, get third place in this tournament, and break our streak. We're due. We need a win. Looks like Illini Central will serve first. They are the Cougars. So Cyclones versus Cougars. And here we go. Final game of the day is now in session. Cornerstone bumps it near side. Leah Huffman, huge hit to start us off from that side. Back over. Barry. He's going to bump it center. Mountjoy. Lizzie Rogers from the back court. Gets a good swing on it, but just can't quite get it. Can't quite find the top of the net. So we'll start out down one here against these Cougars. Maddie Berry bumps it. Mountjoy, near side. Leah just kind of taps it over. And seems as if we had someone in the net here. I didn't see who it was. One of our players got in the net. I saw the up official put fingers up, but I didn't see who it was. So 2-0. Wow. Allie took a dive at it, did her very best, and quickly 3-0 to the Cougars. Allie just bumps it over. Their libero bumps middle, sets middle. Excuse me. And that ball goes long. I got the chance to watch a little bit of Illini Central playing against Mount Olive, and they put up a fight. I'll tell you, Mount Olive ended up winning, and it was in 3 sets as well. I'll give you that. Olive took 3 sets for Mount Olive, the second place finisher, to beat the Cougars. So they certainly can bring an A game. Kinzinger back to serve for the Cyclones. Big arcing serve. Sets to the middle. Big swing. Goes off, I think it went off Lizzie's shoulder. She just couldn't quite get her hands up there and get a defense on that one. And 4-2. Cougars libero to serve. Barry sets center. Mountjoy bumps it near side. Lizzie Rogers, big hit. Barry saves it. Maddie Barry doing a really good job of just getting in there, getting in the mix, trying to get that ball back into the hands of our setters. Just wasn't quite able to get it there. And it's 5-2 for the Cougars. Lizzie, Mountjoy. Leah Huffman, big swing. It's coming my way. Look out. It's coming my way. And, no, Lizzie, you know what? Leah finally got me. I know she was looking for me in those warm-ups, and she finally got a ball to me. We took out one of my monitors almost. You do not want to be in the way of a Leah Huffman kill attempt. You do not want to be in the way of a Lizzie or an Allie or a Leah kill attempt. If it's heading for you, you are in trouble. And I will tell you, the outside hitter on the far side, if they're hitting cross court, they're hitting right for this table. So you may hear and even see me jump up to try to keep a ball from taking us out here. If you see Lizzie or Leah or anyone on that side with a big kill, and then you see the screen go dark, folks, that's most likely just our broadcasting table just got taken out, which, you know what? Could be worse. Lizzie, great save. Center for Hughes. Hughes just dumps it over. Far side for the Cougars. Barry, get it up in the air. This is going to be trouble. Lizzie able to get it back over the net. Really great work by the Cyclones to save this. Near side. Wow. Really, really stellar effort. You see Lizzie just diving. Barry's just going after the ball. Cyclones are putting in a lot of good effort so far this game. But so far, folks, the score is lopsided. 9-2 early. Mountjoy, near side. Lizzie just flat foots it over. Cougars get set up far side. Just a bump over. Kinzinger to Mountjoy. Hughes almost gets in the net there. Gets it over. Kinzinger back to Mountjoy. Far side for Leah Huffman. We'll get that. We'll take that point. Well done, Leah. I almost feel as if I need to stand up so that if the ball comes at me from Leah, it can get not out of the way, get in the way so it doesn't hit my monitors and break them. Ibaka back to serve. 9-3. Cyclones trail the Cougars in set number 1 of this final game of the tournament. Mountjoy to Kinzinger. Really nice work by Kinzinger. Good placement back. Kind of think she surprised the Cougars. She went kind of opposite court, went over to her right, and that's a really, that's not an easy kill to make. That ball's kind of coming at you. You have to redirect it off of your fist as you try to hit that. So she put it all the way kind of opposite court, but I think it took them by surprise. Big swing up front by the Cougars. That goes out of bounds, and it's 9-5. Cougars leading your Cyclones. Cougars set it up near side. Got on the net. Laney Smith saves it. Kinzinger's got to bump it over. Cougars get set back up on the far side. Big swing on the far side. That hit the very, very back of the Cornerstone court. And it's 10-5 here in set number 1. So far, good looks for the Cyclones. Very good work getting offense generated on the front line. Just haven't converted as much as we'd like to here. Kinzinger tried to get that one over the net, just fell just a little short. 11-5 now for the Cougars. That one's going to be short. 14 for Illini Central, just catches it. That's Reagan Harris. She just catches it and says, yep, I'll send it back over. We'll just try it again. Here's Leah Huffman. Really nice serve. A lot of power on that. Far side. Ibaka bumps, sets it to Mountjoy. Near side for Lizzie. Just sends it over along the sideline here. And Cougars get it in the net. 11-7. So a couple points now. We're clawing our way back here. Also, for those joining, I will mention we don't normally have as much of an issue with background noise. I've heard from a couple people, man, there's you can just hear a lot of the crowd, a lot of background noise. And that is most assuredly coming directly from the headset that's on my head and not from any sort of another mic that's giving us trouble. We normally have a crowd mic just to kind of bring in some of that ambient sound from the room, but we don't really need it today. In fact, it's almost a little much. So I think it's a combination of just being a little smaller gym, and also we're just very close to the court. So I think that those things combined just causes a little bit of havoc in terms of the sound. So hopefully it's a decent volume for you. Thanks again for your flexibility. Cougars hit it long, side out to the Cyclones. 12-8, set number 1. Here comes Lizzie Rogers with the serve. Short serve. Laney Smith just dunks it. Comes back over and 1 from their back line, and Laney says, you know what? I'm just gonna put this down. Good, smart heads-up play by Laney. Libero bumps it. They get set up on the far side, and that's going to go long as well. So now we're just back to just a 2-point deficit. Cyclones trail by just 2 here. Here comes Lizzie again. Now she's coming near side. Yeah, we'll call that an ace. I think that just kind of struck that lady's other player's hands just a little strange. So Cougars want to talk it over. They're going to take a 1-minute break, and I am too. I'm going to make a couple quick adjustments. I will be right back with you guys for more volleyball. we are back to action here. Lizzie keeps her serve. I think this is her third or fourth serve here, so she's done a really great job of giving them trouble here on the back line. Cougars near side, hit it across court and out of bounds. Now we're tied up, 12-12. Lizzie Rogers. Again. Uh-oh. That one didn't quite make it. And side out to Illini Central. A couple substitutions. Their libero is going to step out, and Anna Parr, a junior for the Cougars, will step in. Ibaka. Oh, gets that one goes. Well, that one's headed for trouble. Yep. Just couldn't quite get a control on that one. 14-12 in favor of the Cougars. Reagan Harris checks out for the Cougars, and their libero, number 19, Morgan Peterson, checks in. For the Cyclones, Maddie Berry checks back in to serve. And Ibaka and Smith check out. And you've got Bowles and Hughes checking in for the Cyclones. Deep serve. Trying to get over to far side. They're just going to slap it across. Really nice play by Lizzie to get on that one. And Cyclones once again just go diving everywhere. I'm always very impressed to see the effort that the girls put in. I'm not sure how many of you recently have taken a full dive onto a wooden basketball court. Well, I should say this. Not sure how many of you have intentionally taken a dive on a wooden basketball court. It does not seem like something I would do for kicks. So these girls just putting in a lot of really good effort. That one hit by, well, it's just a little bit too far. Coach doing his coaching thing, maybe just saying, hey, just, again, come around a little bit more on that one. Be patient. Rogers bumps it forward. Young, near side to Kinzinger. Now they block at the net. They're trying to get set up here. Far side. Lizzie again diving to get that ball. And at least she's going to send it over to their libero. Set to the middle and flies out of bounds. So once again, we are at a 2-point game. So before the game, we talked about some of the things that Cornerstone needs to pay attention to. One of those is serve-receive vulnerabilities. We talked about this idea that about 4% the Cougars are prone to service errors, and we've seen that so far. Mountjoy to serve. Short serve works out really well. Mountjoy with the twirly gig. I think Lizzie did her own twirly gig just to celebrate the other twirly gig, so it was just a team effort there. Yeah. I think Riley wants that one back. Didn't quite get a handle on that one. Substitutions for Illini Central. Tatum Bruce is out, and number 21, Hillary Thomas, is in. If I saw the right player come in. Lizzie setting up Kinzinger. Far side for Leah Huffman, who just smashes it. Libero picks it up. They're going to just bump it back over. Near side. Nope, that's in the net. They pull it back out. Lizzie's going to set up Mountjoy to Huffman. And they're going to get caught for getting under the net, I believe, which is another interesting rule in volleyball that Dan and I have talked about before, where if you get over the net, the line under the net, then you can be called for that, even if it seems you're not really influencing the play. Kinzinger's serve is good. They're going to go far side. They're going to bump it over deep. Barry's going to get that ball to Young. Young's going near side to Lizzie. Lizzie hits it deep. They're going back cross court. And once again, they are going to call that out of bounds. The Cougars did not like that call at all. They were petitioning for a tip, which the referee said, no thanks. I got it. Kinzinger sends it deep again. Far side bumped over. Mountjoy to Kinzinger. To Huffman. Hits it deep. That one's trouble. And Cornerstone, perhaps for the first time this set, has a lead. 18-17. Kinzinger back to serve again. So once again, we're executing on our service. We're doing really great with serves so far, in my opinion. Libero sets up far side. Big swing. Once again, out of bounds. All right. And they're going to take another. We're going to take another timeout and talk it over. So this last game of this tournament, once again, this is the de facto third place game. The two teams that played it before us were both undefeated at 2-0. Calvary bested Mount Olive in 3 sets. So Calvary ends up undefeated in this tournament 3-0. Mount Olive 2-1, falling to Calvary again 3 sets, just right before the Cornerstone Cyclones took the court for the third time today. Now these two teams, once again for those joining, Illini Central and Cornerstone both 0-2 for the day. This morning had really tough matches, well-fought matches. I would tell you, I thought that Cornerstone played well. They played in system. They were looking for their setters. They were moving the ball with purpose and not just reacting to what was coming over the net. So far this game, I'm not sure I've seen quite as much of that. I feel like we're serving well and we're doing well on our kill attempts, but I think we can get a little more organized getting in system. Here comes Kinzinger again. Illini Central, far side. Bumps it over. Big block by Hughes, but it does not get out of bounds. And so coach is over here saying, hey, Ava, let's just do a little slight redirect. Maybe that one lands in bounds. Short. Cornerstone up 20-18. Abria Baca in to serve again for these Cyclones. Abria hasn't got to keep her serve too much today. She's done a good job with her serve, but unfortunately we just haven't had her back there for more than a couple of times. I'd like to see her finish out the set, if possible. Set center. Well, see, if I say it, the opposite seems to happen. So what I should have said was, boy, I'd really like it if Abria just served that right in the net. But here we are. 2019. Cornerstone with a 1-point lead. Here come the Cougars. Lizzie sets to Mountjoy. Right up front for Laney, who just kind of pops it over. Kinzinger goes back to Mountjoy. She's going to go far side to Leah. Leah's going to sail that one just past where it would have been a point. That's broadcast lingo for those that don't know. Tie ball game, 2020. Short serve. Huffman sets up Mountjoy, who brings it right back. And Leah just can't quite get a handle on it. She hit that with a lot of power, but just got caught in that net. And we'll bring it back here for Illini Central again. Number 6, Eleni Snyder to serve. Kinzinger just kind of hit that one from the side. If you noticed how she came at that, it kind of came to the side there, and she, maybe could have gotten in front of that. I don't know. But anyway, coach says, hey, let's take a second here. Let's take a breather. Ice the kicker, and let's just kind of talk things over here. So far, again, very well-matched opponents here. I think that Cornerstone has done very well on its serve. Far fewer service errors. But just can't quite get the handle on the kills that we really need. We're keeping up and we're playing well with them. But I think coach is probably telling them, hey, listen, first of all, let's get better at redirecting our blocks, right? Let's not only just get up in the net, but let's get up there and let's make sure we're putting the ball back on their side of the court so we can get that side out, get that point. But I think the other big piece here is, let's make sure we're getting those digs out of the backcourt and getting those right to the setter so we can make good choices offensively. Here come the Cougars. Rogers to Mountjoy. Back to Rogers. Big swing. This is going to be trouble for Illini Central. We'll call it a point for Cornerstone. Great job by Lizzie. She likes to kind of go down the line like that. I think that works well for her instead of trying to go cross court. She's a few times now today, and I think I've seen this in the past from her, trying to hit that right down the line versus trying to redirect it. Lee Huffman with the serve. Just long. Just long. Leah's going to check out. Audrey Young's going to check in, as is Mackenzie Bowles. Once the down official gets all that squared away. Number 5, Mallory Thomas for Illini Central to serve. Ibaka. Wanted to let that go, thought it was going out of bounds. It just wasn't quite that far back. So now we have set point for the Cougars. Smith to Young. Bowles just bumps it over. They're going to set up here near side. Audrey Young sets it up. Wow, Laney did a really great job of getting that over to Bowles, who just kind of bumps it over. Okay, Young gets it to Kinzinger. Kinzinger bumps it far side, near side. Lizzie just tries to bump it into the donut. Didn't quite get there. Mackenzie Bowles sets it over to Laney. Now we just got to bump it over here. Good rally here by both teams. Bowles. Great job by Mackenzie. She just really found the right spot. Really like to see with Mackenzie, she really likes to put a lot of power behind the ball, but she's really good about placement, right? It's not all about just hammer it as hard as she can. She really looks for that open space in the court. Good job by Mackenzie. All right, still set point. 24-22. Lizzie Rogers to serve. And it's short. Boy, she wanted that one back. She wanted that one back. It is the end of set 1, everyone. We've got a 1-0 deficit with the Cyclones losing the first set to the Cougars. They're going to take about 3 minutes to talk it over. I'm just going to step away here, make a couple of quick adjustments. I will be right back with you for set number 2 of Cyclone Volleyball. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we are just about a minute away from set number 2. This is Air Q's broadcasted live from Springfield, Illinois, where your Cyclones are down 1 set to the Illini Central Cougars. It came down to the wire. I believe it was 25-22 in that first set. So, again, evenly matched teams. To me, I think the key to the second set is going to be for Coach. If I'm Coach, what I'm telling the girls is, okay, we've got to execute on our kill attempts. We can't just go for power. We got to be able to find those open spots, get through their defense, get the ball deep but not long. We're doing well with our serve. I think our serve has been advantageous for us. So is our blocking from the front. I believe all day we've had really a lot of success blocking up front. However, the ball isn't, more than often if they're sitting on the side, we're not ended up getting that point because we're blocking out of bounds. So maybe coach is saying, hey, let's make sure when we're blocking girls, we're doing so not just get up in their face, but we're actually trying to redirect that ball and actually generate some offense out of that. So be very interesting to see what happens here, folks, as we get ready for set number 2. Thanks again for joining us. This is hopefully not the final set. Hopefully the second set of 3 where the Cyclones will come back and win the next 2 to take 3rd place. We will see what happens here. Referees are doing their thing. Riley Mountjoy is getting the call to start our service here. And here's set number 2. Big arcing serve from Riley. Near side, big swing. That is out of bounds. Point to the Cyclones. Boy, from this vantage point, when you're sitting courtside, it's harder to see where that ball lands, and that one really actually looked pretty good to me. From Megan Hughes, number 7, the senior on the Cougars team. Set middle, just kind of bumps it long. Barry picks it up over to Mountjoy. Big swing by Leah. Leah's going to dig this out. It's going to get to Mountjoy. Back over here to Kinzinger, who's going to go cross court. Nice thinking. Libero picks it up. Far side blocked. Blocked at the net, and it just couldn't quite get to it. Well, we continue to have the same luck getting to those blocks. We just don't have the same luck getting it back over the net. 1-1. Kinzinger to Mountjoy to Hughes. Now that was blocked and just ended up kind of a melee at the net there. Those are, to me, just difficult to defend. This one's in the net. 2-2. Allie Kinzinger getting ready to serve once we get whatever is on the court here. I assume sweat. For those that have been listening, I assume it's not gravy or something else, but that's a long story. We can tell it another time. 2-2. Kinzinger to serve. Deep, the barrel. Bumps it. They're going to have to just kind of, set this. Nope, she took a swing from the back row. That was really nice. Barry. And that's a good example of when we dig out of the back, we have to be able to get that to an offensive position and get set up to actually make a viable kill attempt. That time we just didn't have the chance to do so. Mountjoy up for Lizzie. Lizzie's just going to bump it. They're going to set near side. Cross court again. Now this time it worked. Number 21, Hillary Thomas, one of their seniors, puts one on the board for the Cougars. Now it is 4-2. The libero, number 19, Morgan Peterson, is getting ready to serve, but first coach says, yep, you know what? I want to talk about this again. Set number 2 here in Springfield against the Cougars of Illini Central. The winner of this game will inevitably be your 3rd place finish in the tournament. Like I've mentioned before, Cornerstone, we're really looking to get that win. We need to get a win to kind of change directions here. We've had a few real close calls, some very close games, but we really need to get a win. Illini Central back to serve. It is 4-2. That one's in the net. Really well-matched team. Cornerstone, of course, right now is sitting at 2 and 15. Illini Central 2 and 14. And Illini Central has fared about as well as we have, both conference and otherwise. They are facing some similar opponents. I can talk a little bit more about that, but for now, volleyball. Mountjoy bumps far side. Leah just kind of tips it over. They're going to come back to that side, bump it. Kinzinger gets back to Mountjoy, who just dumps it over to their libero. Near side, dug out by Kinzinger. Just could not quite get a handle on that one either. Illini Central has played Delavan as we have. They won against Delavan. They also played against Clinton and lost in 2 sets. Prairie Central lost in 2 sets. Tremont lost in 2 sets. So they've played similar opponents, and they've, again, fared about as well. So no reason to think our Cyclones can't come back and win this one, but so far in this second set, we have trailed. Laney from the middle. Back to Kinzinger, bumps up to Mountjoy. She's going to go near side. Nice job by Lizzie. Again, not overpowering. And today, I think that's the name of the game. I think we've had as much power, we've had as much luck taking a little bit of pepper off the ball and just finding open space than we have just trying to just hit hard. And sometimes that's the right thing to do, is just take a little bit off of it. Leah serves into the net, so. All right, we've got some subs coming out on both sides. Mountjoy and Huffman come out. Young and Bowles in for your Cyclones. It's 7-4. Number 5, Mallory Thomas serves for Illini Central. Going deep. Kinzinger got a hand on it. Got a hand on it. Just couldn't quite get it to. Couldn't quite get a playable ball to one of our setters. And it's 8-4. Ibaka to Young. Near side. Bowles. Big swing. Well done by McKenzie. That went cross court and just came off the block attempt. Really good work by Bowles. Lizzie Rogers back to serve. It's 8-5. Big arcing serve. Bumps. Wow, great job by Ibaka to keep it in play. Young's going to bump it over. This is going to be a free one for the Cougars. They just bump it forward. Lizzie gets a hold of it. Boy, we've done a great job to keep this ball in play. Near side. Just another bump over. Bowles to Young to Kinzinger. Boy, we're just stringing together plays to keep this ball over the net here. And we will take that point. That was exhausting. Especially if you're here watching, these girls are just all over the court. You cannot say they've not put in the effort today. They've been all over the court, diving, running, putting in a lot of hard work. Here's Lizzie again. They're going to set up far side. Just a little dump over the blockers. Really great job. Ibaka tries to get that over net. Just couldn't quite get it over the net like we needed to. 9-6 Cougars. So this is a point in the game where we've got to settle in. It's very erratic on our side of the net. Ball is kind of all over the place. We haven't settled into our system. So we need to get these digs on service receive, and just get set up to our setters. There's Young. That's better, ladies. Great job by Bowles. Puts it in the donut. Cougars play it back. Barely over the net. Bowles is able to bump it back over. Coming back near side. They will try to just kind of knuckle that over the net, and it just bounces out of bounds. Side out for Barry now to take the serve. Ibaka's going to check out. Hughes is going to check in. Here comes Maddie Bay. Serve on the far side. Libero's going to set up. Big swing. That's out of bounds. Well, I'm seeing a bit of a pattern on that far side. Are you? I would say I'm perfectly fine if they keep setting that far side because they haven't had a lot of success quite yet. Here comes Maddie Berry's serve. Again, far side. Deep serve. They're just going to have to bump it over. Berry gets it to Young. Young's going to bump it backside. Lizzie just kind of dumps it off. Digs to Young, who takes it on the far side. That's trouble. Good idea by Audrey. Just couldn't quite get it the right placement there. And it's 10-8. Number 4, Tatum Bruce, a sophomore for Illini Central, to serve. That one's in the net too. So we'll take what we can get on service errors on the other side of the net, but we really need to step up our system play here. Here comes Huffman, and here comes Mountjoy. And there goes Bowles, and there goes Young. So, if you're tracking all that. Mountjoy sends it deep. Libero sets center. Big swing. Berry got a handle on it. Looks like, yep. Oh, great job by Mountjoy just to bump that all the way back over. Free ball for the Cougars. Tipped by Hughes. That's a couple of those now where we've got a tip that just didn't quite end up playable. So I have to talk to Ava and kind of maybe ask her a little bit more about that. Is that we need to be closer to the net? Is it just something different? Kinzinger sets to Hughes in the middle. That's far. Good job by Cyclones to let that one go. But yeah, I wonder if there's probably some practice ahead of us with regard to just blocking, and especially in the center of the court. That's a really tricky spot because if it's coming off your hands, it's going to go one of two directions, and your teammates have got to be ready for that. They've got to be able to understand where that ball is and how to set up the setter, so to speak. Boat over deep. Set to the middle. Oh, Kinzinger got a hand on it. That just couldn't quite get it back to the front. Mountjoy, far side for Leah. Well, they played that, would have gone out of bounds, I think. Libero just bumps it over. Kinzinger to Mountjoy, near side, Rogers. It's going back far side. Berry gets it back to Mountjoy. He goes back to Lizzie. She's just kind of got to bump it over. Berry, wow, dug that one out. Really great job. Really good defense here by the Cyclones. Yeah, I think Allie wanted a tip on that. Allie and Maddie Berry both just a lot of good work in the back there to dig those couple plays out. Had a really good shot at that one. 13-10, Cougars leading. Kinzinger just kind of dumps it over. They set up center here. Berry back to Mountjoy. Lizzie just dumps it right over the net, right into the hands of their blockers. Kind of took them by surprise. Nice play by Lizzie. Good heads-up play. A couple more subs. Hughes is going to check out. Ibaka's going to check in to serve. I think I might have missed another one. Maybe Laney came in and Audrey came out. Sorry. Lots is going on. Ibaka serves. Libero picks it up. They set center. And long. 1 point game here in the second set. Cornerstone must win this to force a third set if their hopes of third place remain. Oh. Cougars just kind of dump it in the middle of the court and nobody home. 14-12. The tournament ends after this game, so we'll probably let the broadcast go just a little bit longer. They're going to do trophy and tournament team presentations. So we'll let the broadcast go, and you can listen in if you'd like to, just for a few minutes while they kind of wrap up here, and then we'll get wrapped up and on the road. Mountjoy to Kinzinger, far side, or excuse me, near side. Lizzie shaking her head. She's up. Darn it, I want that one back too. Lena Snyder for Illini Central to serve. 15-12 here in set number 2. Ibaka, Mountjoy. Here comes Leah. Wow, Leah just kind of bumped it strangely. A couple players on my way couldn't really see what that was, but that was it's kind of a strange play. Leah just kind of flat-footed, hitting it over. And they said Leah did tip that one, which seems to make sense. And I think she's looking over coach like, yeah, I did. I tipped it. That was me. Good effort. 16-12. Well, and that one's... Those are just points we really can't give up. You know, those are just... It's almost like we were surprised by that, which is really not good. Wow. Mountjoy was able to get that one over. That was really surprising that we were able to get to that. Ibaka bumps it up. Mountjoy. Delaney Smith hits it deep. Coming back near side. Into the net by the Cougars. Yeah, and a little bit of luck on our side in that sequence. I feel like we maybe could have seen that point go the other way. Here comes Bowles. And here comes Audrey Young for Leah and Riley Mountjoy. Audrey Young is going to serve here. 17-13, 4-point deficit for your Cyclones here in set number 2. Really nice job by Audrey. Just a nice little short serve. It was good. We need some momentum here, Audrey. Let's get about 3-4 more of those. Libero sets far side, just bumps it over. Kinzinger gets it to Young, goes over her head, back to Bowles. Net helped us out on that one. Libero bumps it over. Kinzinger back to Young, back to Kinzinger, deep. Point for the Cyclones. Starting to see a little bit more work getting that system set up, and now Illini Central wants to talk it over. 17-15 here in set number 2. So as I mentioned to you after the game, this is the final game of the tournament, and they do a trophy, a tournament presentation after this, and we will go ahead and let the broadcast continue while they do those presentations. I don't know exactly how long it lasts, but we'll let the broadcast roll just for a little while after the game. And then we'll kind of get wrapped up once they wrap up. So not exactly sure how long that'll last, but if you want to hang with us after the game ends, they're going to do like trophies. Not sure if they do other things. They have certain individual awards or anything like that, but we'll be here to watch it. Here's Audrey Young in the back for Cornerstone. Good serve deep. Sets far side. Bumps it over. Kinzinger to Young. Over here, Lizzie just kind of taps it. She's coming back near side. Right to Kinzinger. Kinzinger to Young. Bowles. Oh, she wants that one back too. Yeah, you could see she was trying to square up on it so she could hit it with her forearm. And coach is saying, yeah, I think this time just that one should have been a bump. Maybe just bump that one over next time. Good effort though, McKenzie. 18-15. Kinzinger to Young. Rogers just has to bump it. This will be a free one for us coming back over. Kinzinger finds Young. Going center for Laney Smith. Just going to bump it back over. Here's Young getting to Kinzinger, who's going to set far side to Bowles. Oh! They keep playing. Great job by Rogers. Keep the ball alive. I think a lot of the players thought that play was dead. It was not. And they kept playing that one. That was a little confusing. And even here in the room actually even sounded like there was a whistle. So I think a couple of the girls maybe heard a sneaker, heard a shoe squeak or something and thought the play was whistled dead. I for a minute did too, but 19-15. And there's an ace for number 5, Mallory Thomas. Cornerstone down by 5, 20-15 here in set number 2. Kinzinger hits Young. Lizzie just dumps it over the net again. And that found the ground quick. Good job by Lizzie. Lizzie's done a good job on that far side a few times here, just kind of changing things up. You know, sometimes she's putting power on the ball, sometimes she's just kind of just dumping it, tipping it, and she's very unpredictable in that way. That's good. It kind of keeps the opponents on their toes. She's done a great job with that today. And here she is to serve. Libero picks it up. Kind of a misplay there. Kind of came off her arm, just a little strange. 2017. We'll take it. We will take it. Lizzie back to serve again. Deep serve. Once again, might have been out, not sure. They bump it over. Young gets it, hits it to Kinzinger. Ibaka just bumps it. Far side, big swing. Ibaka's going to play that one. It's going to be a once and over. Young kind of digs that out, gets it back. Lizzie and Laney Smith hits it just a little too far. So 21-17. Kinzinger to Young. Back to Kinzinger. Just a little bit of a miss hit there by Allie. I think she was trying to go cross court and just it kind of came off her hand a little bit weird. I'm sure it's kind of hard to see with this angle, but just kind of came off her hand a little strange. I'm not sure what happened there. Well, up serve was long. 22-18, so still 4 points, but we got our serve back. Maddie Berry will take over serving responsibilities. Ava Hughes back in the game, and Avery Ibaka takes a seat with Laney Smith. Yeah, smart heads-up play by the Cougars. Dare I say they're pulling a chapter out of the Carson Witt playbook. That was a smart heads-up play by the Cougars. 23-18. This one's in the net. All right, back to a 4-point differential. We see Leah Huffman, Riley Mountjoy checking in, Audrey Young, Mackenzie Bowles checking out. Riley will get the serve here. Down to our last 2 points. We need about 5 or 6 in a row here. Let's say 6. Mountjoy hits it deep. They're going to set center. Lizzie sets up Mountjoy. Big swing. Big swing by Allie Kinzinger. We'll take that one. That hit the they hit the blockers and then went all over. It's a great play by Allie on the far side. 23-20. Dug out from the back. Libero to their near side hitter. And that one just kind of got dumped in that donut as well. And folks, we are at set and match point 24-20. Your Cyclones trailing the Illini Central Cougars here in set number 2. Barry to Lizzie Rogers. Kinzinger just bumps it over. Here they come near side. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will do it. With a 25-20 second set, the Cougars take the final game of the 2025 Calvary Academy Invitational, securing their third place ranking. Cornerstone fall to 0-3 for the day. And, well, I would say I've seen some improvement. Definitely seen some improvement over previous games. I think that the Cyclones did a really great job today playing to their competition. I think multiple games were very evenly matched today. We had, we had games, I think with Illini Central, I think we were very evenly matched. I would say against Mount Olive, I felt like we were very evenly matched. Let's listen in. They're announcing the all-tournament team, if you can't hear. Allie Kinzinger named to the all-tournament team. So just if you're having trouble hearing, they did announce an all-tournament team, and they named Allie Kinzinger from Cornerstone to that team. There are 3 players from Calvary and 1 player from Illini Central, and then Allie Kinzinger. So they're taking a quick photo up here.
Okay, thank you. Great job, girls. Congratulations. All right, and finally, we want to present our championship trophy, going undefeated on the day, to the Calvary Academy Saints. Congratulations, girls.
Well, I think that'll do it, folks. Calvary Saints crowned the tournament champions, going 3-0 today, beating Illini Central, Mount Olive, and your Cornerstone Cyclones. Hard-fought games today. The girls worked very hard, and hopefully they feel good about the effort. Again, saw some improvement in both serving, saw some improvement in blocking at the front. So lots of good things coming out of today. The only thing missing is wins, which has been eluding us lately. I know everybody online knows that, but really was hoping today would be the day we get a win back and get some momentum. But that is for another day. And speaking of which, we need to talk about our schedule. Upcoming games for your Cyclones, who fall to, I believe, if our max preps is up to date, we are 2-16. And so if I scroll down here, we have now finished the Calvary tournament. We'll be back on Tuesday against Steel and Weldon at 7 o'clock. And that's a home game, folks. So that will be coming to you from Cornerstone Christian Academy, the UTSA, where we like to hang out. Then on October 2nd, we'll play Decatur Christian at 6 p.m. at their house. And we do have a game on October 4th against Depew, but that's at 10 a.m. And then that's our next tournament. So Calvary Christian Academy from Bloomington will be involved in that. We'll play them at 11 o'clock on October 4th. And then October 6th, we're at Roanoke Benson. So plenty of volleyball left in our season, folks. But today, that's going to wrap it up for me. Without my counterpart, Dan Kinzinger, who is, again, out working his fields, I will just say thank you very much for those who tune in and support Cornerstone Volleyball. I know the girls love to know that there's folks watching and listening. They love the support, and they're grateful to have folks online watching them play. And it's a joy, and it's a privilege to get to bring it to you. So thank you very much for listening in. Thank you for being part of the broadcast today. Hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend, and we will catch you on the next broadcast. Godspeed. Have a great afternoon.